Good morning, hockey fans, on a brisk Sunday morning. First matchup of the day is going to be the Waterloo Warriors and the Kansas City Jets junior varsity. Getting ready to get started here. 15 minutes on the board. Finish picking up some pucks. A last minute coaching opportunity for Tucker Schweer. See if we can't get a win this morning. Looks like we're going to start Coots, Hall, Iverson, Trugan, Westfall for the opening shift. Coots wins it to the side. Westfall cuts over. Kansas City comes out with it. Centering pass, doesn't get through. Comes out to the slot. Hall has it, looking for a shot, has a roll off the backside of his stick. Westfall slides in, gets the puck loose. Kansas City from behind their own net. Iser steps in. Lots of pressure. They're going to kick that to the far side. That's going to go up and out of the playing surface. We'll get a face-off inside the Waterloo zone. Waterloo looking a little more awake this morning than what they did last night. Somebody toss it back in, or I don't know. Ronniehouse pushes it through. Kansas City will take over. Trying to clear. Kelling gets caught in the skates of a Kansas City defenseman. They'll send it back the other way. Right in front. Around the backside of the net, up to the point. D-to-D pass. Sent in. Sent in and found a back door. No one there blocking anybody off. Kansas City obviously had the positioning there. Like defense might have broke down a little bit. Kansas City up by 1. Maybe we're not as awake as I thought we were. Kottman pushes it through. McGilligan on the far boards. McGilligan and Kottman work for it. Kansas City making quick work of the Waterloo defense. Puts them up by 2.
Let's go, guys.
Kansas City wins that one back. D-to-D pass. Into the neutral zone. Hall slides through looking for a hit. Westfall from behind his own net. Kicks it to the boards. Doesn't clear. Around behind Beeman to the far side. Trug picks it up looking for Iverson. Has Hall. That's going to be icing. Back to the Waterloo zone. Keep the same personnel this morning. Waterloo gets a clear. Hall almost had a pass intercepted, working on the far boards. And we'll get a hand pass called. Did you see a hand pass?
It's early though.
It is early. I'm definitely still not awake. Rodneyhouse on the far side. Kicks it back for for Harbaugh. Harbaugh sends it in. Heiser with some pressure in the corner. Kansas City back the other way, looking for a cross ice pass. They'll take it in. Off the skate of Kelling. That was going to come out of the zone. Kansas City will have to touch up. Rodneyhouse around one. Through two. Into the zone. Kelling fires one just wide. Harbaugh holds his own for just a second. Kansas City back the other way. It'll be a 3-on-2 developing. Shot sounded like it was off the post. Crossbar, whatever. Schaefer's got some room to skate. Creating room as he goes. Kopman holds his own. Gets tangled up for just a minute. He'll put some pressure on the far side. Kansas City back out. Clark picks the pocket. He's going to get to the red line and send it in. Kopman and Putbreeze work on the close boards. Putbreeze taken out of the play. Looked like a little bit of aftermath there that wasn't called again. Kelly on the far side. Hall looking for an exit. Clears his own. Kansas City kicks it right back in. Clark from behind his own net to the midboards and out. That one's going to be icing all day. Might have just been looking for a shift change. He might have been caught out there for a little bit. Kansas City with lots of pressure again this morning. They are fast and definitely have crisp passes. In the slot. Back down low for Kansas City. Westfall chased onto the far side. He's bumped off the play. Waterloo comes out. Coots looking for Hall. Into the slot. Looking for a touch pass. Beeman gets a stick on it, pushes it to the corner. And we're going to end up with a Kansas City penalty. Coots looked like he might have taken that one up underneath the face mask. I need to print these bigger so I can read them.
5.
Sam Shibby? Right?
Yeah.
Sam Shibig goes for 2 for a high stick. Waterloo on the power play. Waterloo works on the far boards. Catch back and forth. Iverson with a quick turn. Back up to the point. Shot comes in. Penny. Covers and holds on. Quick shot. Coots gathered up a drifting puck. Got a quick shot off. Coots set to take the draw. Kansas City wins it back to the corner. Hall's there to try to stifle it. Kansas City grabs it and sends it the length of the ice. Harbaugh looking for a stretch pass to Schaefer. Schaefer drifting into the center. Icing on Waterloo. They'll get a shift change. Heiser, Kelling, Rottinghouse. Kelly and Clark are your defensemen. Clark up to Rottinghouse. Rottinghouse looking for a cross ice pass for Heiser. Kelling with his head down, bringing it up to close boards. I was surprised that didn't end up worse for him. Was that?
I thought that guy was.
Yep. Yeah, he was coming. He had a head of steam. I was waiting for Kelling to take the worst end of that. Rottinghouse to Kelling, back behind his own net. He'll start out up the midboards. Missed pass. Kansas City will take over. Through center ice. Kelly has some room. He'll put it to the corner. Clark tackled on the play. Evidently, we've turned into tackle hockey. Definitely effective for Kansas City. That'll do it for the power play for Waterloo. Time expires. Kansas City is definitely a team that pressures literally everything. I thought she gloved that. Must have deflected. Face off to her right. Up to the point. Cross ice pass. Blocker save for Beeman. Footbreeze skated right over top of a drifting puck. Westfall shuts down a centering pass. Into the slot. Westfall blocks another one. He's going to kick it out. Kansas City have to touch up. Not a lot of pressure for Waterloo. Westfall again intercepts a pass. He's going to send it to the corner. Kansas City back the other way. Off the skate of Westfall to the end boards. McGilligan to Bedard. Bedard will send it in. Harbaugh picks it up. Round behind Beeman. Looking for a long pass for True. That one's going to be icing. Should probably make some notes on passing is going to be the key for the next practice, I believe. Coots wins it to Hall. Into the corner. Schaefer knocked off the puck. Into the slot. Iverson kicks it out to the midboards. Coots will pick it up across the red line. That's That was about 3 steps off sides there. Schaefer will pick it up in his own zone. Stops behind his own net. Looking for an outlet. Sends it back the other way for Harbaugh. Harbaugh up off the glass to Iverson. To Coots. Coots gets a shot, drifts wide. Iverson swings in, picks it up at the point. Takes it down. Wow. Into the far corner, up for Harbaugh. Harbaugh tries to send one and gets deflected off of a stick. Schaefer sends it back the other way, doesn't get too far. Cross ice in the neutral zone. Back into the Waterloo zone, off a stick, works through 3. Beeman with the big save. Back down for icing, back to the Waterloo zone. Looks like Waterloo's playing a little timid this morning. I thought with the pressure early on, we might have a game, but they've kind of fell back into their timidness. Back, Kansas City wins it all the way back into the neutral zone. Everybody will have to retreat. D to D pass. Looking once again for that cross ice pass. The shot hits Beeman in the chest. She's going to let it drop in front of her, get a cover. Put Breeze in the close corner. Has the puck taken away. Drifts right through the crease behind Beeman. McGill going to bring it out. Kottman across the blue line. Has it knocked off his stick. He goes down oddly. Loses his stick in the process. To the midboards and back out for Kansas City. Trug looking to... Oh, man, that backwards no-look pass.
Your favorite.
Oh, my gosh. I think I said something about that last night. Shot from the high slot. Up over the shoulder of Beeman. Puts Kansas City up by 3. Andon Corin. I mean, that's just a good shot. I mean, that, you know, had the goalie in the down position and took advantage. It's obvious Kansas City wants this game more than Waterloo does. Some of her teammates need to go pick her up. She's in her head already. She's in her head. Schaefer looking for Hall. Can't connect a pass. Kansas City's just shutting down every lane. Iverson's got a little bit of room. He's going to be caught from behind. Kansas City just that much quicker. Harbaugh shuts down a pass. He'll take it to the far side. Hall's not going to get to that one. It's going to be blown dead. Another Kansas City penalty coming. .2 minutes for head contact. 2 and a 10. Head contact on the cross check.
I thought he called hooking.
He called a cross check, but he was maybe he was just readjusting, but he had his hand on the back of his head, signaling head contact. We're just going to get a cross check. Rottinghouse set to take the draw. Kansas City's going to win it. They're going to send it the length. And they're going to send 2 after it. Nope, just 1. Westfall swings it around looking for Heiser. Can't connect a pass again. Waterloo's downfall, not being able to connect a pass. Be a little more crisp. Not to call him out, but that's another pass behind. And another pocket pick. Kansas City is going to take it in. Heiser. No, I'm sorry, Rottinghouse to Trug. Trug has no room to skate. Kansas City will kick it back out. Westfall gets a hand on it. Offsides. So Kansas City will grab it and throw it the length of the ice. Still a minute left to go in the power play. Finds Heiser. Little move through. He's going to kick it towards the net. Sticked away. Oh, centering pass. Nobody home. And Kansas City will clear. Coots back the other way. That one's going to be up into the Waterloo bench. Face off just outside the Kansas City zone. Hall on the close boards. Harbaugh chases to his own end on a Kansas City clear. Up to Hall. Hall across, tripped up as he comes across the red line. I guess it's probably just the, maybe the, must have a bad blade or something. Grabbed by Penny. Is it Penny? Piney? Doesn't matter at this point. Waterloo down by 3. Coots tied up on the face-off. Kansas City is going to send it all the way around. Back to full strength for KC. Sends it all the way in. That one's going to be to the close boards. Hall loses it coming across the blue line. Iverson will go to the corner looking for it. Takes it all the way around. Hall sends it back in. Line change for Waterloo. That's going to go down. That'll be icing. Well, I figured it would have been icing. I guess I'm not sure. McGilligan sends one towards the net. As the buzzer sounds, that'll do it for the first period. Take a minute and recognize our sponsors for the year. The franchise sponsors are West High Athletic Booster Club, Farm Bureau Financial, Taylor Zimmerman, Iowa Metal Recycling, Linda Gienow, Lindegren Lindgren Glass, Pratt's Pest Control, Standard Distributing, Tina Miller Woodsmall, Dennis and Elaine Loeb, Loeb Farms, Pat Kinsinger, B&D Drywall, Southridge Dental, Dan and Lisa Putbreeze, Marilyn Payne, Tracy Putbreeze, Five Seasons Tire, MC Inc., American Pattern and CNC Works, Bayer Motorsports LLC, Natural Glow, Kurt Gross, Double A Management, Jeff and Pam Coots, Dolores White, Roger and Sandy Schoonover, Ronan Industries, KCH Properties, Highway 63 Diner, Jerry and Judy Buchan, Rasty Appraisals Inc., Rasty Reynolds, and Community Chevrolet of Cedar Falls. We appreciate your support in the 25-26 season. Back and forth. Rottinghouse is going to chase. Westfall shuts down the outlet, kicks it back in the zone. No one there to help out. Stretch pass for KC. That'll be icing back into the KC zone.
say? Are we still muted?
I think we're back. Sorry, had some having some technical difficulties there. Lost sound for a little bit. Hopefully you can hear me. A lot of action going on. Looks like the Warriors might have woken up a little bit. A lot of pressure. Kansas City back up to the point. Clark's going to go for a couple. Probably 6 more penalties after that. Gavin Clark will go for 2 for cross check. Yeah. Yeah, that's what my Kale actually when they lined up here, he's like, "Bro, what are you doing playing JV?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "But it gets me more play time, so whatever works." And he's like, "That's colorful." I was like, well, but for that matter, I said, then the Twins should be able to play JV as well. Is he a
27, so he's a junior.
Oh, he's a junior. So yeah, the Twins should. Yeah, that's what I thought. 27. Yeah, so he's a. Yeah, so he would be a junior. Same as the Twins. So hey, I throw the Twins out here. Kansas City holds the line. Walks in on the goal line, shot up and over, high off the glass. Coots sends it out. Iverson will chase. Can't quite get to it. That's a big thing here. Kansas City, they are just a fast team. And if you're not on your horse and you're not precise, then that skill proceeds. Through the slot, looking for a pass. Waterloo clears. Kellen will drop in to put on a little pressure. Wow. Again, there's that lackadaisical play. This is not a team to play lackadaisical against. He skated all the way in. I thought he was looking for a shot. Sends it all the way around. Roninghouse racing towards it. Can't quite get there. Kansas City around behind their own net. Swings around. That's offsides. Waterloo will bring it up. Westfall has it deflected. They're going to get a shot off. High over top of Beeman into the glass. Got to get a body on somebody. Waterloo back to full strength. Kellen trying to work through the neutral zone. Has his pocket picked and back out the Kansas City back the other way. Kansas City stood up by Schaefer as he dropped into the slot looking for a shot. High slot, shot comes in over the blocker shoulder of Beeman. Kansas City extends their lead to 4. Be interesting to see if what's going to happen here. Kansas City knocks it away. Kottman rushing in. Thought he might have been able to get a shot off. Once again, Kansas City just a little too fast. Clark stands him up, puts him to the ice as he comes into the slot. Kottman racing to it. Into the slot. Bedard gets a shot off. Skirmish in front. Penalties will be handed out. Looks like Bedard's going to sit for 2. Oh, looks like we're going to play 5-on-5. Coincidental minors for Kansas City and Waterloo. You guys can both go for roughing?
Yep. Little love taps.
Oh yeah, just a little pre-Thanksgiving chats. Kansas City tries to clear. Waterloo sends it in. Shot goes wide. Harbaugh from the point. Send it to the goal. Now that's a great pass if you can get it through off the end boards. That was going to travel right out front. Iverson holds his own. He's going to send it towards the net. It'll be just wide. Sticked away by Penny. Oh, Iverson looking for a short angle shot. Traveled up and through the crease. Kansas City will take over behind their own net looking for an exit. And they are out of the zone. Coots into open ice. Hall is in a foot race. Iverson will pick it up, crosses the blue line. Tries to work through. Shot between, looks like he was going for a shot between his legs. Blocker save for Beeman into the corner. Schaefer can't get there. Harbaugh sends it out. Rottinghouse will chase. Drop pass back the other way behind the net. Into neutralize. Schaefer will send it in deep into the corner. Kelling will chase. Another short angle shot, still loose. Heiser, is that Heiser? Heiser, Aiden Heiser comes up with a goal. Forget about the celly. Ends the shutout for Kansas City. Yep. Gotta keep the pressure on. Heiser, Rottinghouse, Kelling, Westfall, and Trug sitting on the red line. Kansas City looking to, they're going to be looking for another one. Oh my gosh. One shot in. Puts them back up by 4. I'm not sure Beeman was expecting that one to get through. Looked like that one, 5-hole? Looked like that one might have, thought she might have had her pads together. Kansas City back the other way, 3-on-2. Shot and the glove save for Beeman. Face off to Beeman's left. Wins it back. And we're going to get a penalty, number 5 for Kansas City. He's going to go off 2 for a cross check. Should have been calling cross checks all morning. They'd have been sitting in the box. We'd have been 5-on-3 for a long time. But hey, I'm just a dad in the stands. I'm even wearing the jersey today. Sweatshirt. Power play squad is Hall, Iverson, Coots, Harbaugh, and Schaefer. Iverson looking for somebody in front. Pass through the crease, sends up a Harbaugh stick. Harbaugh will send it down to the goal line. In the slot for Schaefer. Schaefer tries to wire one in to Hall. That Hall's going to have a bouncing puck jump over his stick. Back the other way. Another goal for Kansas City, shorthanded. Pop the water bottle. Waterloo just not up to the task for this Kansas City squad. Kansas City sends it across the blue line. Westfall there chips it in. Kansas City will send it in deep. It's going to be a foot race. Beeman send it around. A charging Kansas City forward. A lot of pressure behind his own net. And Waterloo will go 5-on-3 here in just a minute. 44. He's going to go off for tripping. Owen Johnson, 2 for tripping, 2 for a hook. Waterloo 5-on-3 for a minute 3, and then they'll be 5-on-4 again for after that 5-on-3 for a minute, and then another 57 seconds will be 5-on-4. Unless we'd happen to score one here. Coots tries to wire one in. Taking a little too much time. Kansas City gets a stick on it. Waterloo around the outside. Pass for Coots. Coots sends one in. Loose puck. Penny gets a glove on it. .30 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Off the netting. I forgot to change the period. Hall, a one-timer. That one travels high and wide, looking for the top corner. Coots. He'll skate it back in. Shoved off the play. Has somebody in, has Schaefer in front looking for a pass. Tried to get one across the crease, and the Kansas City will send it the length of the ice. There's that downfall. Waterloo's missed passes. Iverson, Harbaugh actually tries to step around. Iverson to Heiser. Heiser to Rottinghouse. Nope, that's Hall. Iverson will bring it back in. Off the shins. Kansas City sends it the length again. 14 seconds left to go. Up to Iverson. Iverson can't handle a hot pass. That's going to end up back on the Kansas City stick. Back to Hall. Rottinghouse chips it out. It's foot race for Schaefer. Can't quite get there. Iverson once again. Trug holds his own. He's going to chip it to the corner. Rottinghouse will drop in to the midboards. That one's going to be deflected up into the netting off of a Waterloo stick. Number 6, McAfee, I believe he was the same one that scored the first goal in the varsity game last night. Don't understand why we got varsity players that play like that playing JV. But I guess that's how you get 6 points on an actual JV squad. Even though I don't think he's scored yet this morning. Without looking at a roster, I'm not sure where the rest of these, where the rest of them are at. Rottinghouse kick from the circle. They're going to send it out. Kansas City back in deep. Trug's there to pick it up. He'll wrap around looking for Heiser. Heiser kicks it to the blue line. And out. Rottinghouse had it in his skates, couldn't find it. Heiser with some pressure. Kansas City back the other way. Like Kelly got a stick on it. Chipped it up off a player sitting on the bench. Face off just outside the blue line. 1 minute left in the period. Put Breeze on the midboards. Back into the Waterloo zone. Quick pass across the slot. Stuck on the blue line. Kansas City comes away with it once again. Kopman chips it around, and now it's just a foot race. Shot across the crease. No one breaking with him. Ooh, it's going to be a 2-on-1. Somebody's got to get back to help. Long pass, doesn't connect. McGilligan tries to kick it, send it towards the blue line. Another shot for KC is wide, ends up on the midboards. That'll do it for the second period. We'll get a fresh sheet of ice and be back in about 15 minutes.
knock over the camera. Well, I better not do that since you paid for it.
Back to the third period. Schaefer kicks it out into the neutral zone. Little chaos in front of that. McGilligan comes away with it. Into the slot, works through. Drifts just off of his puck, can't get a shot off. Kelly steals a puck. Travels through the slot. Schaefer will kick it out. Not sure if that's gonna be icing or not. Oh, I don't believe in that rule. I think it should be that foot race like they do in the NHL. Maybe even the USHL. If you can get to it before the other team does, then it's waved off. That might give these kids a little bit more drive to get to it. Coots turns up ice. He's going to try to split the defense, sends it into the inboards. Has Hall with him. Hall comes away with it. Centering pass. Iverson had already left his post. Kansas City picks it up. That pass out front. Kansas City is lights out with that man standing in the slot down low, waiting for a pass from behind the net. I think that's how they score a majority of their shots, or score a majority of their goals. That's going to be a rough, at least a rough, if not an elbow. Hall slow to get up. Looked like roughing was the call. Waterloo back on the power play. Westfall holds his own off the sideboards, looking for big bounce pass for Heiser. Heiser works in the corner. Has Kelling with him. Kansas City gets a clear. He's going to be all alone. Trug's there to knock him off the play. Cross ice pass for Kelling. Can't hold on to it. Kansas City knocks it loose. They're going to send it back across ice. Westfall's there to pick it up. Skates it across the red line. Meets some resistance. Kansas City will take back over in their own zone. Through neutral ice to below the goal line. Trug stops behind his own net, trying to set up an offense here. Another pass just outside of the reach of Heiser. Kansas City will send it back the other way. Trug to center ice. That could have been a real dangerous pass. Westfall has to chase. Off of Coots' stick. That's going to be icing again on Waterloo. If we could just connect 5 passes, I think that would make me happy. Passing drills all next week. Coots wins it to Hall. Hall back to Harbaugh. Harbaugh to Schaefer. Schaefer has it knocked off of his stick. Iverson chips it through. Makes a quick turn. The passing and the hesitation. And granted, this is a young team, and a lot of these kids. This is the first year for a lot of these kids to play high school hockey. So it is different. Schaefer in the slot. Oh my gosh! Hall with a wide open net has it dislodged from his stick. Looking for an easy backhand. Kansas City with pressure. There's that cross crease pass. Harbaugh ties him up in the corner. Schaefer will come away with it. But not for long. Kansas City takes over in the slot. Shot high over Beeman. Once again, throwing the puck into nowhere. Kansas City takes over. Off the pads, up to Hall. Hall's got some room. Hall had his stick hooked. Thank you for that call. That should be we're gonna get a penalty shot out of that. He was in the motion of shooting. I'm calling for a penalty shot. Let's go.
Not gonna get it.
Not gonna get it.
I like the call you made though. It's in the motion.
Yeah. I mean that a 2-minute penalty should with the score the way it is shuts down a goal, but Waterloo will take a timeout. Reassess the situation here. After the timeout, we're going to get Iverson, Harbaugh, Hall, Schaefer, and Coots. Waterloo not ready on the face-off. That one's going to be sent into the stands. Harbaugh across to Schaefer. Back to Iverson. Iverson steps in. Working across the zone. Schaefer in the high slot looking for a shot. Harbaugh back to Schaefer. Loose in front. Might have been a high stick there, but Kansas City went ahead and played it. Pulling it back. Yep. There's that blind dump into the with no one there. Right, ends up on the Kansas City stick, and they're back the other way. A lot of pressure once again. Puck loose in front. Schaefer will skate it through the neutral zone. Looking for a shot. Took a shot rather. Point blank. Off the pads, and Kansas City will clear. Iverson will skate it in once again to the far side. Shot travels off just wide of the post. Deflected off a glove. Kansas City once again dumps it. Westfall behind his own net. Looking for Heiser. Through his skates. Puck loose in the slot again. Kansas City will come away with it. Kansas City back into the neutral zone. Trug now looking for Kelling. That one is going to travel right to the Kansas City goalie. Off the skates of Heiser into the slot. Nobody home. Kelling working for the puck. Heiser steps back in. Heiser throwing a little bit of weight around. Not sure why you'd send it clear over there. Westfall's going to send it back around. Kelling at the midboards. Centering pass. Kansas City clogging all the zone, all the lines. 2 Warriors down. Kansas City back the other way. 3-on-2. Into the slot. Lost control. Kansas City will have to touch up. Rottinghouse back across with Heiser breaking. Shot into the body of a defenseman for Kansas City. Travels to the midboards and back out the other way. Trug kicks it out. Kansas City brings it back in at will. Meyer looked like he had his jersey grabbed. Waterloo's going to take a penalty now. Sure who's going to take that. Looks like they're looking at Trug. They're going to call Trug for a trip. Waterloo on the penalty kill. Into the high slot for Kansas City. They're going to send it in towards Beeman. Beeman, quick pad save, still loose. She is not getting any help down there. Those loose pucks got to get cleared out. You can't stand there and watch it. Kansas City is going to put it away. And they do. Interesting penalty killing tactic for Waterloo. Looks like Harbaugh might have owned that one. We're going to go to a running clock now with Kansas City up by 6. Schaefer picks it up in some open ice. Can't hold on to it. Gathers it back up, has somebody on the far side. Puck loose in the crease. Waterloo can't capitalize. To the far side in. Shot travels all the way around, back into the corner. Kottman tries to send it out. He'll get a clear. 1-on-3. Kottman tries to break through. Harbaugh 1-on-1. He picks up a charging Kansas City man into the slot. Shot off of Schaefer's shin pads. Back up to the point. Kansas City wires one off the side of the net. Another short angle shot off the pad of Beeman. Back up to the point. Another block by Schaefer. Cottman's got some room to skate. He's driven to the boards. Puck squirts back out. Waterloo. Oh, look, I thought Waterloo had touched up already. Kelling now works his way through. Shot high off the glass. Kelling takes a big hit on the break. Ooh. Kansas City works all the way through the defense, gets a shot off, travels high, back in the neutral zone. Trug back up to Kelling. Kelling looking for some room. Off the glass, back to Trug. Kelling off the boards, finds Rottinghaus. Rottinghaus will skate it in. Up to Trug at the point. Kansas City back the other way. 3-on-2. Westfall throws a shoulder. 2 minutes left to go. Trug will try to send it out. That takes a weird bounce off of the boards. Kansas City drops it back in. Westfall blocks another shot. Off of the skates of Schaefer. Off of the side post. Big save for Beeman. Kansas City players sitting right on the doorstep. Rebound and tried to put it back in. Putbreeze chips one's loose. Pushes it up. He's got some room, had some room to skate. Taken out of the play. Schaefer sends it back in. Kansas City clears his own one more time. Bedard steps in. He's going to send it off high off the glass. That'll clear the zone. Not for long. Kansas City will bring it right back in. Looking for that centering pass. Schaefer sends it in. He'll go for a line change. McGilligan blocks an exiting pass. Putbreeze takes a hard hit. He's gonna stay down for a minute. That's gonna be that's a potential boarding call. When you're up by 6, there's no room for that anywhere. Whether you're up by 6 or not, but when you are up by 6, stuff like that is just uncalled for. What are we going to get for a call on that? Well, there's only 28 seconds left in the game, so even a 2-minute penalty, they tell them to leave, just like they did last night in the varsity game. They're over discussing it right now. See what the outcome is. Hopefully he's all right. He's very slow to get up. Landon Putbreeze back to his feet. He's going to be helped off the ice. Looks. Yep. So he'll take a 2 and a 10 for checking from behind late in the game. Harbaugh's is in a foot race trying to catch him. If he wouldn't have lost the puck, he was good. He skated in after it. Puck traveled just off of his stick a little bit, and he crossed before the puck did, so that creates an offsides. Just going to let it run out here. That'll do it for your junior varsity game against Kansas City Jets. We'll be back in about 15 minutes or so with the varsity matchup. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Catch us next week. I believe we're in Mason City. And then Friday night we're in Cedar Rapids. And then we'll have the weekend off. So catch us Friday night.